BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL, and much more. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
This shit feel like game 7. Put lines up through my S's. Wake up in the morning, count my blessings.
Welcome to the Money Down, the Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag. Back again with another episode. You know, the NFL, the news, it never stops. So the New York Giants organization, they have decided to bench Daniel Jones. And I will have to mention, he has a $23 million injury guarantee. So I can almost guarantee you that is the reason why he's being benched. He's not the second string quarterback. He's the third team quarterback. And actually the original third team quarterback, Tommy DeVito, is now the starting quarterback. Not Drew Lock, but Tommy DeVito.
Drew Hot too.
Yeah, Drew
Hot too.
Yeah, seen the interview. You know, he kind of was like, questioning what's going on. And I was on Sirius XM earlier this morning. And I was like, I would consider this about tanking. I don't think Tommy DeVito gives you the best opportunity to win, week in and week out. Look, Tommy did pretty solid in a few games that he played last year, but I do believe Daniel Jones gives you a better opportunity to win. I think Drew Lock gives you a better opportunity to win. Not Tommy, and not to take anything away from him. Like I said, he's getting this opportunity. Hopefully he maximizes opportunity. I don't know how y'all feel about this situation going down in New York.
Entertainment value.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the fans entertained. You saw what happened. What was it, last year? I think when Daniel Jones got hurt, or a couple years ago when Daniel Jones got hurt.
Last year he stepped in,
and Tommy DeVito stepped in. Fans loved it, right? So, right now fans ticked off. With the way the season's going, how Daniel Jones is performing. It could just be one of those things to get back on the fans' good side. Like I said, nothing to take away from what he's done, but I think it's just entertainment value.
Tommy had his agent. Tommy had his agent on the sideline looking like a mafia boss, all type of crazy stuff, right? This just goes to show you, man, it's all about politics in the league, dog. You feel me? Like, I don't think Tommy gives that team the best opportunity to win. Obviously, I still think it's Danny Dimes. I'm happy that his teammates and people in the media have came to his defense, right? Like that roster didn't have a chance on offense. Defensive wise, they got some pieces. They got some key pieces to keep growing off of. And I think, moving forward, they will be a good team. But when you had an offense and your number one receiver that you were banking on was a rookie who, don't get me wrong, he been playing his ass off, right? He been making a lot of plays. Definitely got a really, really bright future. But when you got to lean on him as your number one and after that, you don't really have anybody else to go to, of course your QB is going to struggle. Losing Saquon, business decisions like that, of course, your offense is going to struggle. So I just think it's really, really crazy, but this falls back onto what we always talk about with the politics in the NFL.
Yeah, goes back to it. Could y'all see, a similar type deal to what, happened with Sam Darnold? He started in New York, didn't start too soon probably, seeing ghosts and everything. Ends up being cut from there, traded. I forget how it all went down, but goes to San Fran, goes to Carolina now. He's in Minnesota. He's thriving. Could y'all see Daniel Jones, next season? I'm assuming he's not going to be on the roster next year, getting traded or cut or whatever it may be, going to a different place, maybe being a backup or end up being a starter somewhere else where, the offense is on fire. He learns and goes somewhere else and thrive. I think it's possible.
For sure.
I think the talent is there. He hasn't been able to, throw the ball over the yard, throughout his career so far. He's been banged up and everything. I do feel like if you put that dude in the right situation, he's shown enough flashes to where it gives me enough confidence to where he land in the right spot. Things can really click for him.
Yeah,
I look at Tennessee for an example, and obviously, they got a quarterback that's already in that system. But the way the league is set up nowadays, I don't care if you do go first round, right? You really only got a window of how much that team is going to let you rock out until what's going on in New York with himself, right? They start trying to, find a replacement for you. But I'm just looking at a team like Tennessee that has some weapons. Obviously, Calvin Ridley, they got other pieces that can also, and then a run game, right? Give him an opportunity, get him around some weapons. And he has that home run hitter speed, right? We done seen him take off and make some plays with his legs. Kind of remind me a little bit. I'm not trying to compare him exactly to Josh Allen, but body size and type, toughness. You know what I'm saying? He has that grit to him. He just got to get in the right situation.
Yeah, you know what? You talking about that? I was thinking of two places. Two places came to mind. I was thinking Oakland.
Yeah,
for one.
Or Vegas.
Excuse me, Vegas. Vegas. I was thinking the Raiders.
I didn't think of that, yeah.
And I was thinking of the other New York team, depending on what happens with Aaron Rodgers.
Go ride the road, don't gotta move.
You know what I'm saying? So I think there will be opportunity for him after the season, whether it be, being a backup or getting a start somewhere. I do think he still has a ton of talent and puts a team that needs a quarterback in position to win. I just think his situation right now in New York isn't the greatest. And of course, obviously, he's been there as a starter for some years now, since he stepped in as a rookie, or I guess not since he stepped in as a rookie, but early on in his career. I just think he needs a different change of scenery, because as we've seen, change of scenery. Sam Darnold, for one, might help him. Might give him some different type of weapons, put him in a different offensive scheme that might be better for him, so on and so forth. So a change of scenery ain't always a bad thing.
Yep. Speaking of the New York Jets, they did end up firing their GM, Joe Douglas. Yesterday, I believe. So everything's starting to unravel there, for the New York Jets, and you can almost assume that Aaron Rodgers won't be on the roster, or even if he wants to be on the roster, next season. Who knows what happens with Devontae Adams and company, whether he's still there, where he ends up next season. Where do you think the guys, there in New York go next year? Do they blow everything up, or can you see Aaron Rodgers potentially being on the roster and them trying to figure it out that way? I mean, they need a new head coach and everything. What direction do they go there? Do some head coaches not want to go to New York? Because there's some articles that came out, that the owner wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers, like 4 weeks into the year based on his performance. He felt like he was holding them back, and that Tyrod Taylor would have gave him a better opportunity to win. But the coaches, Robert Saleh and other coaches, vouched for Aaron Rodgers and said, no, he gives us the best opportunity to win. And I think a couple weeks later, they fired, the head coach. So I know even myself thought Aaron Rodgers had a little something to do with Robert Saleh getting fired. But now more of the details starting to come out. It makes sense. The owner, he kind of has his hand in there. Supposedly too, he said, because his brother was the one who technically, Woody Johnson's brother was the one who technically, hired Robert Saleh, although he had to sign off on it too. But like shortly after he was hired, he's like, I didn't hire you, that type of thing. Like told him like face to face, like, my brother hired you, I didn't hire you, da-da-da. So you kind of know what that means. He probably didn't necessarily like the hire in the first place. So I'm not sure what direction this Jets organization goes. As you say, it's one of those teams that has been doomed for quite some time. They had a few good years under Rex Ryan where they made it to AFC championships, but ever since then, it hasn't been the same.
I don't feel bad for him. And when you have, I just said, when you got owners that act a way like that, like it's a certain professionalism that you're supposed to act with. There's no way, the coach that you guys just hired, I don't care if your brother hired him, your mother hired, your grandma, whatever the case may be, you had to sign off of it. It's no reason for me to step to you and, start that initial relationship as, I ain't hire you, my brother did. Like, motherfucker, you the owner, bro. All this stuff to you.
Yeah. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I don't got nothing to do with that. So, when you have owners that, want to play strong arm, and this is the stuff that come with it. Like, I get that, Aaron Rodgers hasn't been playing his best. Obviously, coming off an Achilles injury, it's going to take some time for him to kind of get back to even halfway, the Aaron Rodgers that we wanted to see. But it's a lot of stuff going on in that organization. And I think, the start of it was firing the head coach, which just didn't make any sense when it did happen. And then, I seen a list of all the people that is Joe Douglas, right, the GM,
Yeah.
all the people he's drafted, like he's honestly hit
a lot of them.
on all his pieces. So
only thing he missed on was Zach Wilson. That's the only thing he done jacked.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
But that don't mean Zach Wilson's a bad pick. Zach Wilson may just have success elsewhere.
Yeah. They put him on the field too soon.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
So, but even if, James, if you go 9 for, you know what I'm saying? You go 9 for 10, right? Like, bro, just to come out and fire him, like, I haven't seen anything that was like, nah, we fired him because of this. Like, the players on their team are solid. They just got to get the right coaches in there. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I don't know. But I don't feel bad for no owners that, you know, if it become a dumpster fire and it's starting to come out that you're an a-hole, like, good for you.
Yeah, and I think that could deter some coaches. I mean, maybe not first time head coaches. You gonna bark up any tree that gonna give you that money, get that opportunity to get that guaranteed millions of dollars coaching. So maybe guys like Ben Johnson, maybe he should be interested in it. Maybe he won't, based on some of the stuff that's coming out. I know maybe Bill Belichick obviously not going there. He dislikes the Jets. Maybe, Mike Vrabel, a veteran coach who's already been there. I don't think he would necessarily go there based on what he's hearing either. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some coaches that truly believe they can fix some of the things that are going on, because there's a ton of talent there. We'll see what they decide to do as far as trying getting Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, giving them extensions and whatnot, or whether those guys even want to be there going forward based on what's going on. Do they think they can go elsewhere and try and win a championship? Maybe the situation is better for them. So New York definitely has a lot of things to fix, and especially owner Woody Johnson, he needs to fix his attitude and his approach to how he handles his GMs, his head coaches. Allow them to be them. Don't be strong arming them and things of that nature. Immediately as soon as they get the job. That's not the right way to handle it. So we'll turn to – you go ahead.
Question, what's Devontae Adams' situation? He on a 1 year? Like, it's like, I don't – I wish –
let me look at his contract.
Damn, man, just to get traded there, obviously,
I think he's still technically under contract, with the Jets going forward. Let me see. Gotta check that.
Trade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
Are you though if they keep Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, if they keep Aaron, he probably gonna want to be there.
He's gonna want to be there.
Aaron, I highly doubt Aaron is gonna be there next season.
No,
so I definitely believe Devontae Adams will be somewhere else, going next year. But yeah, he's still under contract with them technically through 2025. But they have an potential out for 2025, 3 years. 61 million, $8 million in dead cap or something. So they won't lose a crazy amount after the season. So they'll probably end up moving on, I'm sure. Because I'm sure they're gonna move on from Aaron Rodgers as well. So they're gonna have a lot of decisions to make. Jets once again, another one of those hailstorms they gotta figure out. We'll turn the page to week 12 in the NFL tomorrow. When this releases, probably be Thursday when we release this. So we got Steelers versus Browns on Thursday Night Football, division rivalry. And speaking of the rivalry, our guy, Myles Garrett, he was interviewed, today after practice and was asked, about TJ Watt's reaction to him winning Defensive Player of the Year last year. And we'll have to go to his response so you guys can hear it for yourself, what he said and, how he reacted to that.
I've never complained about the trophy not being in my house, and vice versa. You shouldn't be feeling two ways about it going to me. So I'll play against you, they don't play against me, but we'll have a plan to go out and do what we're supposed to, win the game and dominate on defense. But it's up for grabs this year, and see the best man win.
Is there an extra little subtle jab? He ain't say nothing too crazy, but a nice little subtle jab. I mean, hey, I don't mind it. I mean, TJ's our guy. Obviously, he has his response right here.
Everybody in the league, obviously, a guy who's been a top pass rusher in the league for a long time. But I don't compete directly against him. It's our team versus their team. At the end of the day, I just want the Pittsburgh Steelers to come out with a win.
Anything else?
respect for everybody.
Hey, my dog look like he about to go ham.
Yeah,
I'm calling it right now. But dog about to have 4 sacks. TJ about to have 4 of them things.
And I was gonna say that to anybody who knows TJ, right? He gonna always take the high road, but he gonna
he about to,
he gonna tear that game plan apart, bro. So hey, good luck to good luck to the Cleveland Browns tomorrow, and good luck, Jameis.
You on your ass, boy.
I'm calling it. Hey, put that lock in. TJ Watt for 4 sacks.
4?
Yeah.
4.
Tough.
Bro,
tough.
That's tough.
You know they're gonna triple team and double team him on 4 a lot. But he good.
You'd be surprised.
And it's a rivalry game. Come on,
you will be surprised. Some coaches don't care. They gonna leave that. They tackle 1-on-1, not chip and stuff. They don't be caring anything. They scheme. It's gonna work. Yeah, so we gonna see, man.
Right there.
Myles Garrett tough too. I think he gonna pose problems for that. That Steelers offensive line too. So I'm excited to watch both of those guys go at it. I'm sure this little friendly competition here will make them extra motivated. On Thursday Night Football to go out there and ball out. I don't mind any guy's response. I think that's what it's all about. It's all about competition. Want to be the best. And both of those guys are definitely top tier, at their positions respectfully. We have some other, good matchups this week. We got Eagles at Rams, Sunday Night Football, which, we got big Rams fan over here. Let's hear your thoughts on this. We already know what his thoughts going to be, so let him say it for himself. Every week is a win for them.
You know what? It's going to be tough. Like, obviously, we're fighting. We want to get in the playoffs. We got to win these games, especially these NFC games. Cardinals right now are leading the division, so these wins are, as we get close to the end of the season, the wins are going to have to, they're going to matter, right? All wins matter, but now it's going to be more imperative that we win. So I think the guys are going to go in, you know what I'm saying, on a mission. Welcome Philly, welcome to the big house. Not the big house, but the big dog house, and we're gonna walk out with a dub. It's gonna be close. I can't. We got a young defense, like I said. Jalen Hurts has been playing well. Saquon. Hey, Saquon's a problem, but we also got
y'all pose problems for them too.
Staffy on the other side. You got Kyron Williams, weapon, and then you got the 2 best receivers in the league on the outside. So it's gonna be a good game, but I think
They killing me with this best receiver. They fought though. They good though.
Sorry, Drake. You know what you got.
Now Moody 5. Now you tripping?
He about 10.
You don't know. You don't want to leave. You don't leave nobody in that 1-on-1 though.
Puka not top 10 either.
What you mean? You can't put 10. You can't put 10 receivers in front of Puka.
Yes, you can. No, you can't. Yes, you can.
Anyway.
I can put 10 in front of him. Yes, I can.
Right,
he's not bad, but I'm saying I can put 10 in front of him. Yes.
He's great. He's great. You can put 10 in front. You can put 10 in.
Very good.
You can put 10 in front of him and Cooper Kupp.
No, Cooper.
I didn't say Cooper Kupp. I said Puka. I said
Cooper top 10. Yeah. Because you talking about consistent.
I'm gonna put Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, Mike Evans.
Yeah, Mike Evans.
Let's see who we got.
Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
No.
Chris Godwin. Look who only had 1 year so far. What you mean?
Don't matter.
You gonna put him top 10?
You're not taking Chris Godwin.
You gotta go. You gotta throw Diggs still in there.
I'm gonna throw Diggs still in there. I'm gonna go Nico Collins. I'm gonna go Nico Collins over him too.
St. Brown good right now.
Tyreek Hill. St. Brown.
That's 7.
Terry McLaurin.
He's not. But you're not taking him over Puka.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Are you crazy?
I'll give you.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams
at the end of his role.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
That's
a long list. I might can name 20.
Puka's 10. You gave me 9. Puka's 10.
And there's probably people that I'm
just leaving off the list.
Like, ooh, come on.
I put Brandon Ayuk over him too.
Now you take
Ayuk. No, I'm not. I'm not tripping.
Right.
Ayuk can go get that.
All right, Rams gonna come out with a win. End of the day, Rams.
We ain't even think about DK in them, bro. Come on,
you're
not taking Puka. You're not taking DK over Puka.
Yes, I am.
Bro. Wow.
It's probably a lot
Like I
of people.
said,
It's a
a
lot
delusional-
of. I would take
delusional
T.
Rams
Higgins
fan.
over him too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm taking T. Higgins over him
Alright.
too. Which and that's no slouch to the Puka. He's still good.
No. Y'all just delusional. That's all.
I'm not.
Now
I'm
we
not delusional. Now we delusional.
I give you
man.
Jamar. I give you Justin Jefferson.
What about
I
George Pickens? You
I give
take
you-
George Pickens over him?
Hell no. I'm taking Puka all day.
I think I ain't gonna lie to you. If Pick was in like,
If
yeah,
where is he at
I
right
give
now?
you that. I give you that. But we just named CD Lamb. We just gave you
Yeah,
10.
CD Lamb too.
I give you
10 people.
Jamar. I give you Justin Jefferson. I give you Tyreek Hill. I give you Mike Evans. I give you
CeeDee Lamb.
I give you Amon Ra. I give you that. I give you
Stephon Diggs.
Nico. I don't know if I give you Stephon right now.
But the man been 1,000.
Bro,
I don't know if
you
I
talking
use
about a dude who done had
No,
1
it's-
year.
It's
1
I
year.
don't know if
You
I
gonna
give you
throw-
Stephon
We
right now.
don't gotta do this, bro.
Calvin
We-
Ridley. You gonna put Calvin Ridley over him neither?
No, heck no.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, I
Amari
give you AJ.
Cooper.
That's 8.
Amari
No,
Cooper.
definitely not Amari Cooper.
Are you bro? All right, I'm done
No,
with you.
bro.
This conversation's done.
Yeah,
This
it's over with. It's over with.
I gave you 8. I gave you
You're
9.
tweaking.
You gotta
You're
throw Cooper
tweaking.
Cup in. You gotta throw Cooper Cup in there himself. That's 9 right there. And then Puka's 10.
Bro, it might be 20.
Come on, James.
Devontae Smith, too.
Not as disrespectful. Not as disrespectful.
Bro, what you talking about? He only done played 1 full year so far.
James,
Person
let him
said
have it, bro.
Jalen Waddle.
He
Definitely not
delusional.
Jalen Waddle. Come on now. Come on,
I
man.
don't know. I mean, hey,
Y'all know.
Jalen Waddle's on one. Jalen Waddle is on one on another team.
Puka's not a 1 on another team?
we
I
don't
mean,
know.
did it for 1 year. We don't know.
Cortland's son pretty solid.
What-
I'll take Puka over
Puka's
Cortland.
had 1 year, 100%. But Jalen Waddle being a 1 over Puka, what has Jalen Waddle done?
He went for a stack his rookie
He's been
year.
going for
He
a
ain't
stack.
completed a full season yet.
He's been going for a stack, fam.
Quietly.
Quietly, he's
All right,
consistent.
bro.
bro.
We know this conversation. We know
Yeah,
this.
It's
Y'all,
not
y'all disrespectful, bro.
No, we're
Braylon,
not disrespect.
hey, wait till Braylon hear this, bro.
We-
We gonna be on y'all in the on y'all in the text chat. Move on, bro. Move on.
We going this definitely going. We gonna have this as a social clip
crazy.
for sure. But we gonna switch to some other games. We got week 12. We got 49ers at Packers. So that's always a pretty good matchup. The 49ers, they fighting to stay in contention. The Green Bay Packers right now, they're the 6th seed in the NFC in the playoffs. They're rolling. They 7-3. I know we said, the 49ers think that window's closed. Right now, they a 10 seed, in the NFC, so they scratching the clock. Although they got same record as your Super Bowl champion Rams, so
They do.
you said same.
It's
same record.
it's about 3 teams in there with the same record. So, and we all in the NFC West.
Yeah, Seahawks.
division
Yeah,
of football.
Seahawks 5-5 too. It's not the toughest division. Y'all just all
Hey, bro, we not finna
Yeah,
say
yeah, y'all all average right now. that's all that is. So that'd be a good matchup. Then we got Vikings, Bears, division matchup. Bears, they trying to fight their way. They number 12, a 12 seed, 4-6, so they slim chance of them making it to the playoffs. But hey, a way to get back on track against the Vikings, that's gonna be tough on Caleb Williams. Ooh.
Yeah.
Flo
Bro, you
going
got Vikings and the Lions back to back.
Yeah, so that's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be a tough little.
And he had Green Bay last week.
Yeah, tough little stretch for that back half of the year for Caleb Williams. I don't know if any of these other matches will be intriguing to y'all. Cardinals at Seahawks, Lions at Colts. Anthony Richardson came back last week, started, got him a dub. Look pretty solid too. Got him a little rushing tub, throwing the ball, across the field. I do think those 2 weeks, being humbled a little bit, I think that helps, man. Help you reset you, get remotivated, get back in the lab a little bit, do what you need to do. I don't know how y'all feel about him being benched, come back 2 weeks later. I mean, Joe was tripping. Joe Flacco was tripping them 2 weeks. I vouched for you, Joe. I was like, yeah, that's the right move. Joe, you went out. You played, man.
I told you them boys be hearing what we say and get tripping out there, man.
You play with that money, man. Come on, Joe. Any of the other matchups intriguing to y'all?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go Philly and the Rams. Just because obviously the Rams, we all think highly of them. They are a dangerous team. Their head coach and their offense presents a lot of problems to a Philadelphia Eagles defense that is still right. They're playing better. They're playing good, but still got to figure out ways to improve in the secondary, and then also just getting the most out of they can out of those first round draft picks they got on the O-line, on the defensive line. But I shift over to Philly's offense. I think this is going to be a good tough one. A young team that's hungry. Right, they're gonna give you everything they got because they're trying to get into the playoff push, and then Philly's been able to, I guess, kind of, capture and play well enough, better than how they've been at the start of the season, which a lot of people were still saying, right, like this is what we saw last year, even when they were whatever 10-0 or whatever the case is, it just didn't seem like their wins were the right way. So now I just think we're gonna see a lot from both teams in a pivotal and critical part of the season for both of them.
Yeah, it'd be some good matches, man. I think that Cardinals Seahawks, I think that'd be a good matchup too. Cardinals, top division Seahawks, they went and got them a big win last week against the 49ers. We'll see if the Cardinals can hold on. I mean, they've been rolling. Probably a team that didn't expect themselves to be in this spot and what they're in right now. So Seahawks are fighting their way back into it. Get DK Metcalf back and everything. So I'm definitely excited for that one. But we'll turn the page to some college football. We had updated, CFP rankings. We had Perk, pop on those update seeded chart. See what that thing look like there. It's gonna be exciting few weeks. These last final weeks of the college football season. Got some matchups. Some of these teams are gonna be playing each other, knocking each other off. So these teams got bye weeks. We got Oregon to have a bye week. Boise have a bye week. Miami, if they win, they'll have a bye week. And currently right now in the SEC, Texas, will have the bye week. How do y'all feel about, a team like, Boise, obviously they're in a, whatever people will say, a lesser, conference and whatnot, ending up with a bye week versus, say Ohio State, who's the fifth seed. Should the fifth seed, coming from a more powerful conference end up with the bye week, or should it be, the Power Five or Group of Five, conference that deserves a bye week?
Well, did they say like the winner of each conference gets a bye week?
Yeah,
it's the winner of each conference. So I mean, if they win their conference, they deserve they deserve a bye week.
Okay, I was posing the question.
No. I'm making sure that's what it. Sure that's what it was, because I mean, technically, Ohio State's already lost to Oregon, right? So you'll probably get them same two again for the Big Ten championship game. So you let that be, the Big Ten bye week. Boise State's winning out right now. The only team they've lost to so far is Oregon. They're playing some really good football, regardless of who they're playing. Anybody can get beat on Saturday. It come down to who wanted more in game plan, right? So, I mean, you got to give them they do. They're having a really good season. Truth be told, to me, I think they're in the same situation as similarly Indiana, right? Like, for example, Indiana, like I heard somebody talking today, and I don't mean to take this off topic, but I heard somebody talking about this today. Like, they don't think if Indiana loses to Ohio State, they shouldn't be in the college football playoff, period. Right? I can't remember who said that, but they were just like, Indiana doesn't have any big wins. Like, they have the worst, like one of the worst strength of schedule or something like that. And you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it all depends on what it come down to with the committee. I mean, Indiana's won their games. They've thumped everybody they played so far. So even if they did lose, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be interesting to see what happens to them. But Boise, for a team like Boise State, if they win their conference, you got to give it to them.
Yeah, I'm cool with how the format of the college football playoffs is. I will say, to your Indiana point, I think Indiana is in the green as long as they don't get boat raced on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. You go out there and you go lose by 10, 14. You know what I'm saying? 3, really that 14, range point. I think you still can have a case in the argument as far as getting into the playoffs. My thing was just looking at that graphic. I don't think any of the 4 teams that's getting a bye, the only team that I feel like would be comfortable with, who they would have to play in that next round is probably Texas, right? I think I seen Oregon would have to play the winner out of Alabama and Notre Dame. I don't think Oregon want to see either of them. Obviously, Boise will have to see the winner out of BYU and O State. I think we would all take O State. O State going to probably boat race Boise, and then I'm going to miss
you
on
never know.
Miami. You think Miami want to see Georgia, or I don't know. I think I still maybe I still kind of got that image of
from the
Georgia
past,
from the past, but I don't think all those other teams are comfortable or want to see the matchups they have except Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I just brought that topic up because there's probably some people out there that feel like, I think I saw on social media that Boise State shouldn't get a bye week. It should be one of those SEC or Big Ten teams that are ranked number 5 and this and that. They should get the bye week based on their ranking, not based on winning their conference. I agree with y'all. I think Boise deserves it. It's hard to go out there and win a conference. If you don't win yours, then hey, so be it. You better go out there and win the first round playoff games. You making it in, they give you the opportunity to still play. And with this 12-team playoff, go out there and win those extra games and get where you need to be. And speaking of Indiana, they got a matchup this week against O State. I'm excited for this one. I think Indiana's been fun to watch, all year long. They haven't whatever played a top-ranked team or anything like that. This would be their biggest challenge. Who y'all like in that matchup? Indiana, Ohio State. I mean, I don't know.
I can't even. O State look human.
They look human. So, look, it's hard for me. I want to say Indiana.
I want to say Indiana too.
I want to say Indiana too.
I think it's going to be extremely tough on them, but I do think this game is going to be very, very close. I think Ohio State probably, just sneaks away at the end, if they get the ball at the end or the defense just makes a play to win the football game. But I do think Indiana will be right there in this matchup, and I hope they still find their way into the playoff. I think that as long as they don't get ran out of the gym, I think they should find their way in there. I think they deserve it, based on where they've come from last year. I know that doesn't necessarily matter, but to see them, go from where they were to where they are now, believing in their coach, I hope they get in. I think that'll be a fun story to watch in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Indiana, and something that's kind of like glaring to me is I don't think the teams that have been scary in the past, the Georgias, the Alabamas,
people don't fear them like
Ohio
that.
States, they don't strike fear into these other teams the way that they used to.
They used to, yeah.
And Ohio State has looked very human this year, the same way Georgia has looked human and Bama has looked human. So I think more so if Indiana goes into that game with a mentality, especially if you're watching old games, right? Struggled a little bit with Northwestern in the beginning of the game. Struggled a little bit with Penn State. Like, this is a team you can take advantage of their weaknesses, and you got to go in there and do that off the rip. So, I think if Indiana comes in there with that mentality of we can beat them, we're not afraid of you, you're gonna put them in some tough situations, and you can give yourself an opportunity to win that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. The way it looks right now, like with the way the bracket is set up, I mean, to be honest, like I don't care if you got a bye week or not. You could lose, quick.
Yeah.
It ain't like you playing cupcake teams like when the playoffs come around. Like you talked about Alabama having to play or Oregon having to play like Alabama or Notre Dame. Like you could lose. It don't matter, right? So it's just one of those things of I think every team has looked human this year. Whether it be one game, whether it be 2 games, like every team has looked beatable because there's been a game that's come down the line that they should have dominated and won, and they didn't for whatever reason, right? Whether it be bad game plan or the other team just not being, fear, you're not putting fear in the other team like you used to, like you're talking about. So I think this college football playoff is going to be really, really interesting. And I really think there's going to be some teams that aren't in it right now that end up in it at the end of the season.
End up in it the year. Yeah. When is week 1 of the college football playoffs? December.
It might be the first week after the conference championship.
No, I think they got a bye week. I think it's one bye. I think it's a bye week in between there. I think. I could be wrong.
So teams that like don't make the the conference championship, whoop de whoop, and they get like almost 3 weeks off, a first round
December 20th.
That's a little while.
That's a while.
Teams that them teams that get to relax, not have to play in the college and play in a championship game, they get like some extra week off. They might be rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? So
or it could go the other way.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is, and I think is gonna be an extremely important factor is, those teams like Alabama, something like if you got to go to Columbus, Ohio in December, right? It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold in the places.
Yeah.
So, I know, we haven't talked about it, but the elements of weather is a factor if you have to go somewhere that you normally play. SEC schools that play in warm weather, that got to go somewhere cold in the playoffs. All that stuff got to be taken into account. So I'm super excited for this 12-team playoff for college football.
Yeah, it should be a ton of fun. Then we have a couple Big 12 matchups. The Big 12 been wild these last couple of weeks. Kansas been knocking a couple teams off. BYU lost for the first time. They play Arizona State this weekend to try and keep their hopes alive, make it to the Big 12 championship. And if Arizona State wins, they give themselves an opportunity to play in that Big 12 championship too. So they can find their way into the college football playoffs. So it's going to be a ton of fun. We got Colorado at Kansas. As I said, Kansas has been knocking off a couple teams. I saw their star corner, Kobe Bryant. They asked him about circling this matchup on the schedule, him going up against Travis Hunter. He's like, yes, of course I circled this one. So it's gonna be a fun one to watch. I know he's a talented corner, and obviously Travis Hunter's a special player, so I'm sure he'll be trying to follow him across the field, see what that looks like. I don't know what y'all think of those two matchups and how those results end up this weekend.
For some reason, I'm going blank. Does the Big 12? Who's the leading team in that conference right now?
BYU still up front.
But BYU had a first round game against Ohio State.
It's projection.
No. But what I'm saying is,
I think the highest ranking 4 conference championships. So Boise State's higher ranked than what they are currently.
Okay,
I believe.
I was wondering. I'm like, why wouldn't
or lower ranking?
conference champion from the Big 12 get it?
Boise State is 12.
Got you. Okay, but no, that Kansas and Colorado game for me is the one that circled in. Obviously the matchup between the corners and Travis Hunter, and then what he's able to do on the defense side of the ball. It's a lot of Heisman, implications these last couple of weeks. A lot of people giving the Heisman to Travis Hunter, which deserving player has played his butt off, but these are those moments where we talk about Heisman moments where you got to go out there and make that impact on the game, which he has done. I don't think he is not going to do, but it's going to be a good matchup, especially for a team like Kansas, who they've been trying to ruin everybody's season in sight. They not going to be in it.
I mean, I'm looking forward to that one too, because Colorado last year. A lot of hype, a lot of everything. Ended up winning 4 games last year. Now they in the point right now to where they potentially can make that college football playoff, and now the pressure's on. So we'll see, how they handle these last couple weeks, whether they gonna be ready for the moment or whether they end up, taking one of these L's and not end up making it. Either way, I think it's a successful season for them based on where they came from and all the turnover that they've had. I think Deion's done a heck of a job, but this is gonna be a great challenge. Kansas has a ton of talent on that football team. I don't think their record really shows, how talented they are. They definitely can knock off, any team on their schedule. So that's going to be an exciting one to watch, see how Sojourn, Travis, and company, handle their business, going forward. I don't know. I forgot the other news too. I don't know if y'all saw, the tweets and the Instagram that Ray Lewis looking to try and get the FAU head coach. I know y'all seen that. He's probably trying to get on that Deion program. I mean, that'd be kind of wild. We all know, Ray. He a motivator, man. He can talk that ball. I'm sure you playing for a dude like that, you're gonna be ready to run through a brick wall
for sure.
I think that'll be dope, for that program if that's the route they go. Whether that's just social media talk, I don't know. But if Deion can do, I think for sure Ray Lewis can handle that and get the job done and turn a program around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Especially, you look at the head coaches nowadays. Head coaches ain't doing too much coaching, right? Like, if you got your OCs and your OC and your DC in the building for us, especially with the supporting cast of the coaches that those guys bring in. But that head coaching spot is really kind of like a motivation, a motivator, somebody that can bring juice to the teams, and that's what Deion is doing. And I have no doubt in my mind that Ray Lewis will find a way to get you crunk and hype before a game. So if it is something that FAU hires him, I mean, I think it'll be a good fit. But the only time I tell him, we'll definitely see.
Yeah, not only that, you talking about recruits, you talking about getting players. Sure. Tell me you ain't going to want to play for Ray Lewis. I mean, I think it's going to be huge for the FAU program. If Ray Lewis takes the opportunity, or if he decides to do it, and it's going to be a lot of recruits that probably wouldn't be going there otherwise. That's going to go just because it's him. So, I think it's going to be a big boost to that program for sure.
100%. And that's a wrap for this Money Down podcast on the Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep showing love. We always appreciate you.